Winter sat on a rough-hewn bench, watching the people attempting to build an army. She scanned the crowd for Scarlet's flaming hair, but instead she saw
Jacin.
But as quickly as she saw him, he disappeared into the shadows. Winter slipped away from the crowd, into the woods.
Princess?
Yes, hello.
You're looking for a handsome young man, I believe.
Did someone come through here just now?
Just your prince, dear. No need to be shy. He's very handsome, isn't he? He asked me to give you a message.
He did? Jacin? But where did he go?
He said not to follow him, that it's too dangerous, and he'll find you when it's safe again.
Oh.
But he left you a gift. He said these are your favorites.
She handed her a plain box. Winter's heart expanded. She couldn't imagine the trouble Jacin had gone through to get them for her. Inside, 2 sour apple petites.
My, but those look tasty. I haven't had one of those since I was a little girl. Apple, aren't they?
Yes. Please take one, with my gratitude for delivering them.
Well, if you insist. I suppose one little bite won't kill me. I'll take this one if you don't mind. See, it has a crack in the shell, not fit for a princess. But only if you eat the other. It would be the greatest honor to share this bounty with your highness, the beautiful Princess Winter herself.
You are too kind.
Winter placed the candy between her teeth. She felt the crack of the brittle shell before it melted against her tongue.
This has been more satisfying than I could have imagined.
I'm glad. It's been my pleasure to...
She paused, catching a tinge of familiarity in the way the woman watched her. At the curve of her grin, something haughty and brimming with contempt.
Is something wrong, my dear child?
No. For a moment, you reminded me of someone. But my eyes play tricks on me sometimes. They're not very reliable.
Oh, sweet, stupid child. We are Lunars. Our eyes are never reliable.
Winter shriveled back as Levana shed the guise of the old woman.
My researchers assured me the disease would act quickly. The infected microbes are being absorbed into your bloodstream, even at this very moment.
Microbes?
Oh, don't worry. Young and able-bodied thing that you are, it should be an hour or 2 before you begin to show symptoms. A rash of blood-filled blisters will erupt on your perfect skin. The tips of your fingers will shrivel and turn blue. Oh, I do wish I could be here to witness it. Don't worry about your friends. I'm going to let you go, little princess. I will let you return to them and infect them yourself. They made a mistake when they chose you over me, and that will be their undoing.
Why do you hate me?
Hate you? Oh, child, is that what you think? I don't hate you. I'm merely annoyed at your existence. From the day you were born, you had everything I ever wanted. Your beauty, your father's love, and now the adoration of the people. My people. But not for long. Your father is dead. Your beauty will soon be tarnished. And now that you are a carrier of the blue fever, any citizen who comes close to you will soon come to regret it.
You could have their adoration too, you know. If you were kind to them and fair. If you didn't trick them into being your slaves. If you didn't threaten them and their loved ones for every minor crime. If you shared the riches and the comforts we have in Artemisia.
Her tongue stilled.
I am queen. I am the Queen of Luna, and I will decide the best way to rule my people. No one, not you, and not that hideous cyborg, will take this from me. I must enter my kingdom. Goodbye, Winter.
The forest closed in around Winter, and she collapsed, unconscious, to the ground.
Strom, have you seen Winter?
I have not.
Me neither. Not for a long time. We need to find her. It's not good for her to be left alone.
They found her sprawled out in the woods.
Winter!
Scarlet rolled her onto her back and checked for a pulse. Strum grabbed Scarlet's hood and dragged her back.
Let me go! What are you doing?
She's sick. I can smell it on her. Diseased flesh.
Winter, wake up!
Scarlet gasped and jumped back. Red-tinged bruises and rings on her skin. The plague.
Animosis. Acts fast. And no one survives. But Levana has an antidote. We need to keep Winter alive long enough to get it.
She is dying. She does not have enough time.
We can't just leave her here. We have to do something.
She needs a suspension tank. It may slow the progression of the disease, but I'm afraid we only have one tank.
So?
He gestured towards her and she cursed, seeing the red-tinged bruise on her own upper arm.
The Crown just released a new video that you might be interested in seeing. Evidently, you're dead.
She's calling you a corpse girl. You were dredged up from the lake last night. They even have this mannequin thing with a painted metal hand, and they keep showing a grainy photo of it. It keeps looping with this speech from Levana.
What's she saying?
The impostor of my beloved niece is vanquished. Let us put this messiness behind us while we go forward with the coronations. I'm a psychotic, power-hungry nut basket, and my breath smells really bad under this veil.
How long until the coronation?
9 hours.
She's passed an edict that any sector found in violation of curfew or suspected of assisting the imposter will be barricaded, to be dealt with on a case-by-case basis after the coronation. Then she goes on some spiel about repentance and begging their queen for mercy.
It seems a lot of people were motivated by your stunt at the wedding feast. The number of barricaded sectors keeps growing.
How many?
87 at my last count.
And you think they've all of those sectors, what do we think this means?
It means the Queen is having a very bad day.
Of course, I don't know if the people believe you're really dead, but I'm not sure it matters at this point. If you're alive, then you're one hell of a revolutionary. If you're dead, then you're one hell of a martyr.
Can we do something about those barricades? The people can't come to our aid if they're confined to their own sectors.
Oh, sweetheart. We are so far ahead of you. Cress?
The barricade controls are a part of the main security network that operates out of the palace's security center. I could hack them remotely, but not without raising alarms. So...
We thought we'd break in.
Of course you did.
We got into New Beijing Palace, we can get into this one. From there, Cress undoes the barricades on the outer sectors and schedules the security barriers around the central dome to open at the end of the coronation. It's the best way to coordinate a surprise attack and make sure everyone is entering Artemisia at the same time.
It's too risky to send you in. I'd rather Crest remove the barricades remotely, even if it does raise alarms.
That makes 2 of us. But that's not the only reason we need to get into the palace. We also need access to the Queen's broadcast room if we want to do anything with that video of yours. Levana disabled all outside access after your last stunt. So if we want to project it over the whole system, we have to do it from inside.
Is the video worth it?
Oh, it's horrifying.
It's the jackpot.
break the illusion, you break her control.
Cinder's eyes fell on an anomaly on Cress's holograph of Luna.
What's wrong with that sector?
Quarantined.
Disease quarantine? That's all we need.
Could it be letimosis?
That's an earthen disease. We've never had any cases here.
It's not just an earthen disease anymore. It mutated. Lunars aren't immune anymore, and a whole lot of earthens just arrived on Luna. Any one of them could be a carrier, or one of us.
Cress input a command, transferring the feed she was watching up on the holograph. It was a collection of the Queen's surveillance videos. There were so many people taking up the few beds in their medical facility, while others curled against walls or collapsed in corners. Rashes of red and blue rings marred them all.
It does look like Lenimosis.
Are those what I think they are?
Lunar soldiers.
And Scarlet's with them.
I don't compute.
What's to compute? They did say they were going to build an army.
Yes, but Scarlet wasn't with us in the desert. How could she be a carrier of the new strain of the disease?
You're right. She could have picked it up from one of us.
None of us are sick.
What's that they're carrying out of the clinic?
A suspended animation tank. Winter.
Kai was beginning to understand why Levana had set the time for the coronation as she did. The ceremony was coming at the end of Luna's dark cycle, broken up only by artificial light. This would be the first real sunrise Kai had seen since he'd been on Luna. A new dawn, a new day, a new empire.
Your Majesty, have you given thought to what your next move will be, should our hoped-for outcome not come to pass?
You mean if Cinder is dead and the people don't rebel, and tomorrow morning I find myself stuck with an empress who wants to kill me and take control of my military and wage war on my allies until they all succumb to her will?
I suppose you have been thinking about it.
It's crossed my mind a time or two. What's the status of the bombs that could weaken these biodomes?
We have a dozen built and ready for deployment. The most we could hope for at this point is to weaken them. But I don't think it would be enough to deter Levana completely.
Unless we target the dome that she's in.
That is also the dome that we are in.
I know. Prepare the fleet. I want a regiment of armed ships positioned in neutral space, as close to Luna as they can, without warranting concern. After the coronation, if Levana doesn't allow the other leaders to leave, we might be able to threaten her into consenting. I'd like everyone else off this moon as soon as possible.
Everyone else? What about you?
I have to make sure Levana gives up the Litamosis antidote. I don't know where she's keeping it, but if it's here in Artemisia, we can't risk it being destroyed. I need to make sure we retrieve it and get it to Earth as quickly as possible. I have to succeed at that, if nothing else.
And once the antidote is secured, our priority must be your own safety. If she does mean to have you killed, so she can assume control of the Commonwealth, we need to take steps to make sure it doesn't happen.
That won't be necessary. I'm not leaving Luna with this unresolved. She can't be allowed to rule Earth. If Princess Selene fails, I won't.
What are you saying?
I can make myself useful to her long enough to obtain the antidote. She won't kill me right away, not if I can convince her I have information she wants, knowledge about our military procedures, resources. Then, when the antidote has been safely relocated, I will order our military to bomb Artemisia.
With you in it?
It's the only way I can make sure Levana will be here when the attack happens. She won't be suspicious. As long as I'm here, she'll think she has control over us. With a single attack, we can remove her, the thaumaturges, and the most powerful members of her court. They won't be able to stop it. No brainwashing, no manipulation.
No. You cannot sacrifice yourself.
I'm already sacrificing myself. I won't let her have my country, just as long as I can take her down with me.
Meanwhile, our daring crew was ransacking the mansion closets, trying to find appropriate disguises.
Why does Cress always get to wear the best clothes? Cress gets to go to a royal wedding. Cress gets to go to a coronation. Cress has all the fun.
I'm not going to the coronation. We're just impersonating guests so we can hack into the palace broadcast system.
Cress gets to hack into the palace broadcast system.
Cress is risking her life to do this. Do any of these match?
Ugh, these shoes are like stilts. Isn't there something more practical?
I don't think practical is in the lunar vocabulary.
Tell me I don't look as ridiculous as I feel.
Startled, Cress tripped and crashed into Aiko, sending them both tumbling to the floor.
I'd better find some different shoes.
Maybe ridiculous is the theme of the day. I do feel a little better now that I see what you're wearing.
He was referring to Cress, wearing a part cocktail dress, part orange butterfly costume.
Hey, Captain. Stop checking out her legs.
I'm a connoisseur, Aiko. Look how tall those shoes make her look. Well, tall-ish.
Here, Cress, try these.
Oh, thank the stars. Aiko, you can have mine.
Oh, yes! I'm keeping these.
How do we look?
Lunar. Of course, any lunar who's paying attention will be able to tell that you're an earthen and she's a shell. So be careful.
Careful is my middle name. Right after suave. And daring.
Do you even know what you're saying half the time?
Are we ready?
If anyone answers no to that question, I'm leaving without you.
Trepidation curled in the pit of Cress's stomach. They were about to be separated again. She and Thorn would go off to the palace, while Cinder, Aiko, and Jacin tried to save Winter and Scarlet and organize the people who would soon be infiltrating Artemisia.
We're ready.
Jacin led them through the back entrance of the medical research clinic. They entered a lab labeled Disease Research and Development.
Is this it?
Jacin's attention snapped to Aiko, who was staring at a set of floor-to-ceiling cabinets with row upon row of small vials. Litamosis Strain B, Vaccine.
This right here is half the reason Kai is going through with this. This could have saved Peony.
This is going to save Winter.
His pulse was racing. Every time he shut his eyes, he could see her in that tank, clinging to survival. How long would the immersion protect her? How long did he have?
It's a thaumaturge. And 2, I'm going to guess servants? Lab technicians, maybe? And 1 other. Really weak energy, possibly a guard.
No offense taken.
Maybe we can wait it out? They have to leave eventually.
I'll take control of the guard and the other 2. I'll kill the thaumaturge and wait until you're all clear before I follow you.
You'll raise a lot of alarms.
I've already raised a lot of alarms.
I'll go. They can't control me. I'll draw them off and find a place to hide until you come back. You have to get this antidote to Her Highness.
I don't know. We should stay together.
Like I said, I'd do anything to keep you safe. Besides, if anything happens to me, I know you can fix it.
Aiko winked and then marched bravely out in the hall. She drew them off and Jacin and Cinder escaped.